December 2nd video. Gregorian is Latin for the Watchers. So I wanted to give a quick little bit of information on Fields of the Nephilim. This is something that I've been wanting to do for at least 2 years, since 2022. And here we are at the end of 2024 and I still haven't done it. After watching countless interviews and listening to all the Fields of the Nephilim, their albums that I could get my hands on, I started listening to Rubicon, and I'll explain that in a minute, and then also the Nephilim without the PH and a big massive F. And I'll explain that in a minute as well. There are 5 full studio albums, one's contested, and we'll get to that in a second as well. So we have Dawn Raiser from 1987, the Nephilim from 1988. My exposure to Fields of the Nephilim started with the Nephilim. Iliasm from 1990, that was produced by David Gilmour, Pink Floyd. Fallen, which is an album released by the record company, the recording company, and not by the band. So it was never seen as the Fields of the Nephilim album, even though they did acknowledge From the Fire, but the rest of the songs were never played live. And then Morning Sun, M-O-U, Morning Sun, from 2005, Fallen 2002. Interesting world we live in. It also had like a ton of EPs. The first one, obviously, Burning the Fields, Preacher Man, Moonchild, possibly my favorite, One More Nightmare. Live albums that I got my hands on were Ceremonies and Earth Inferno. Earth Inferno was a recommendation by somebody that subscribed or left a comment or something on one of my previous Fields of the Nephilim videos, so thanks for that. And then a personal note to Cole McCoy: if you ever plan on touring the US, where I'm at the moment, let a guy know, let me know. I'd love to see the band live. So the band started in 1984, 1985. The first EP that was released, Burning the Fields, 1986, Power and Preacher Man, Dawn Raiser 1987, 1988, obviously the Nephilim, which has my first exposure to Fields of Nephilim. The Watchmen, which was so good, I actually compared it to like a concentrated syrup of goodness that you would have to dilute to enjoy the goodness of how good this song really is. And that's still my opinion of the song. I still love it. I think it's still, well, it's definitely in my top 10 songs ever. Blue Water reached number 75 in the UK singles, and then Moonchild reached number 28 on the UK charts. 1990, Elysium, that was produced by David Gilmour, and we spoke about that a minute ago. Fantastic album. I didn't pick up really any Pink Floyd influences on any of the songs, not really, but it was a really well produced album. Then in 1991, the departure of Cole McCoy. When I say departure of Cole McCoy, the band split in two. You had Cole McCoy going to the Nephilim, and the Nephilim was spelled with a F instead of a PH, and it was jarring, the music. The album Zune was absolutely, it's amazing. I recently downloaded it off the iTunes store and I was blown away, and I all of a sudden understood some of the music that followed, Fallen and Morning Sun, so much better because I downloaded Zune. It is fantastic. And then I listened to the Rubicon 2 albums, 1992, What Starts Ends, and then 1995, Room 101. And then Zune was released 1996, which was just plagued with delays. But anyways, you had Cole McCoy going one way, and you had with the Nephilim, and you had the rest of the band going another way with Rubicon. I've listened to both sides of the coin. The detractor from Rubicon for me was the missing vocals, that powerful voice of Cole McCoy. It just wasn't there. And even though the music's good and I like the music, if I never knew they had anything to do with Fields of Nephilim, I would have possibly loved it more. I enjoyed it, but I loved Zune. It is 100% the magnetism of Cole McCoy. So in, I think 1998, they reunited, and they reunited without Yates. So Yates was the brilliant guitarist that joined 1985, a year after the band started, and left in 1991 when they separated. Fallen release in 2002. Me personally, I love that album. I thought it was brilliant. One More Nightmare captured maybe a moment in time for me. I don't know exactly what it was, but I loved the song. And for me personally, there were so many good songs on Fallen that I kind of felt sad that they never acknowledged it as one of their albums. I think Cole McCoy did go out and he did say that this was a bunch of unfinished ideas. Morning Sun, obviously their fifth album, fourth official album. I had a couple of masterpieces, Straight to the Light, which was just phenomenal. I listen to it on a regular basis. Requiem, both of those songs are on every single playlist I have, and when I drive long distance, I'm jamming to them. Obviously the song Morning Sun, and then for the first 5,000 copies released of Morning Sun, they included In the Year 2525. The band still perform on a regular basis live. They have a website, and I'll see if I can drop a link in the description of the video. And then on a personal note, I want to share this. Fields of Nephilim, in my teens and early 20s, the only two songs that I was ever exposed to was Moonchild and The Watchman. The Watchman was this anchor of a song. I remember in 2022, I just started this channel, and I flew to the UK and then to South Africa, and I was on a beach, actually close to a beach, in a place called Port Elizabeth, and all of a sudden it hit me. Hey, hold on. There was this band called Fields of Nephilim. I wonder if people still know them, and if they are any fans, similar to what I did with the Sisters of Mercy video. And I remember immediately people started reaching out. The band's brilliant. The passion of the Fields of Nephilim fans just like bowled me over. I could not believe the passion that I was exposed to. All of a sudden, people started saying, hey, you've got to go listen to Morning Sun. Hey, you've got to go listen to Fallen. Hey, go listen to Earth Inferno. Go listen to this. Go experience this song. And I'll never, ever forget how amazing it was to experience this. Because all of a sudden I downloaded, or I bought Dawn Razor, and then Elysium, and then Fallen, and Morning Sun, and then Earth Inferno, and then Cemeteries. and so on, and different EPs. Trees Come Down, and all of that. It just amazed me. And the more I listened, the more I started reading up on the band. And the more I read up about the band, the more interviews I was watching. And it was just amazing. And this band grabbed me and bowled me over, absolutely captivated specific moments in my life, specific moments in time. And that to me was the essence of my Fields of a Nephilim experience, place of love for music. And the fans were just the best. I remember there was this old gentleman in Germany who spoke about him and his partner meeting Fields of a Nephilim and so on in one of the videos somewhere along the line. There must be 10-15 Fields of a Nephilim videos I made over the last 2 years. And this, I remember in a live stream, somebody said, I think it was Sam, or it could have been Vincent, it was somebody, I can't remember who, but somebody said, hey, why don't you make a little video about Fields of a Nephilim? You know, explaining where the band came from and so on. And even though I would love to meet Cole McCoy one day, this is me paying homage to the brilliance that is Fields of a Nephilim. I heard in nightclubs when I was a teen, and then we grew out of nightclubs. I got married, had kids, and so on. Life events happened and all these things happened. So I'm editing the video and I realized there's an important piece that I kind of glossed over. I'm on a beach 8,000 miles away from my house, and I realize that I've never made a Fields of a Nephilim video, and I thought, hang on, let's do that. The responses from the fans from the Fields of a Nephilim videos were just mind-blowing, and it drove me to own everything that I can on iTunes. So and we'll start collecting other albums. But anyways, let's wrap this up. If you have an opinion, please drop me a comment. I'd love to hear about it. If you've never heard of Field of a Nephilim and this is your exposure, let me know what you think of the band. And if you're a fan, well, you know what to do. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.